Welcome back for the final time this school year to the Sideline Vision podcast. Also, I'm your host, Nick Rampe. I'm joined by Reece, Leddy, and Sam Dicus. This will be my final episode. Is that good? Is that dramatic enough?
This solid. This solid.
Okay, cool. My last episode, our last of the semester, and also episode 20. Give it up for episode 20. Reece didn't clap.
Oh.
Okay.
There it is.
Hey, just making sure.
Fine.
Hey, I did.
Just making sure we're all on the same page. We're going to go a little, I guess, non-traditional on this one, just because it's a lot of things converging at once. First, we want to say thank you for listening for, I guess, season 1, so to speak. And, I guess after that, let's just get into it. So instead of going through each sport, as always, we're going to look back. We're going to go to instant replay, but it's going to be broader. It's just going to be your favorite Belmont sports moments from this year. Let's start with Reece. Nope, let's start with Sam. He's thinking a little too hard. Sam, what you think?
Obviously, I don't know if everybody at home knows this, but I am a freshman. This is just now my second semester at Belmont, and the first thing I ever covered for the Vision was volleyball. And so volleyball is always going to have a special place in my heart for whatever reason. I knew nothing about it coming here, but first year for Coach Fritz and really turned the team around, had a really good year. So just coming on here, my first episode, all I did was talk about volleyball. They had a couple wins. There's a couple times I put down some mortgage bets and owe some people some money for that. But volleyball was a good ride for me. Obviously, I'll let you guys talk about some of the bigger stuff, but just for me, getting to come on the pod, talk about volleyball, and then turn that into an every week thing was pretty all right to me.
Pretty all right.
I think for me, especially, I'm a junior. We'll be a senior next year. But, I've got to say basketball. I think out of all the years I've been at Belmont, this has got to be by far the most important, just hectic year for our most quote-unquote prestigious program, the basketball program. Not even everything from just the they call it in NASCAR silly season when people go to different places, and that's such a perfect name for that. But, just not even with all that crazy, stuff with everyone going everywhere, but just the season as a whole. Despite the way it ended and the way things turned out, this was just such an entertaining season to watch. And for me, spoiler alert, basketball before Belmont, not exactly my favorite sport. I still wouldn't rank it as one of my top sports. I'd say out of the major four, it's probably fourth. Football, basketball, or baseball, hockey, probably fourth. But I think it's given me a really great appreciation for college basketball, and just this season alone has been so much fun to cover and just so much fun to watch.
Dude, it was like 2 seasons. Everything before spring break was so much fun. Everything after spring break has just been a tailwind. It's just been crazy to keep up with it.
Yeah, this is, I'd say, the most involved I've been in covering basketball, and I'm in a similar boat, Reece. I'd say basketball ranks probably still above hockey for me because I'm new to hockey. But it's probably 3 out of the major 4. But it's mostly dropped because of the NBA. But college basketball has been very consistent for me, and to be really this close to so many games, I didn't even write that much about the games themselves, but I was on the baselines taking pictures and video for a lot of them, and that was really, really cool. That was a new experience for me, and just being able to be around this team so often, and especially when they secured the MVC regular season championship, and I got to run out in the court and take pictures, and they're holding the trophy up and they're jumping in with the fans. That was really special for me. Also, I think I mentioned this previously when we had a similar topic, but volleyball's season opener against Vandy at Vandy outside under the lights, that was just one of the coolest sporting events I've been to, honestly. It's kind of like when you go to a smaller concert and it's it's not the same as going to a huge venue, but sometimes that's nice to have that kind of small, intimate, setting. And that was just really, really cool. And obviously that was Vandy's first game in forever too. So both of those really cool. And most recently, Sam and I were at softball when Maya Johnson received the golden ticket for AUSL.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. Like, you have to think about it.
I'm like Athletes Unlimited softball.
I was a part of that broadcast team for that event.
We were all there.
We were all there. You guys were covering it. I unfortunately wasn't covering it, but I, got the camera angles that she's gonna look at for the rest of her life, which is like, that's such a weird thing to think of. You know what I mean? Like,
that's like
history.
Truthfully, that's a truthful historic moment.
She's the first mid-major player for this to ever happen.
Yeah.
And like, I'm walking around like an idiot, my Dodger shirt in the background, because nobody told me this was gonna happen, and I'm just like following everything around. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. Shout out to Greg Sage, who told me, he's like, yeah, we're running a little late because VIP is running a little late, and I was like, what does that mean? And then it's like, oh, the game's going on too long.
You sly dog.
You sly dog. This VIP's busy sitting in the dugout right now. But yeah, that was a really, really cool thing. And honestly, like, out of everything I've covered here, that's the most historic. You could try to argue Belmont's first MVC regular season championship. I wouldn't.
Maya Johnson's way bigger.
Maya Johnson
It's
is
way bigger.
different planet.
Yeah. And this is only year 2 of the draft, I believe. So she's like one of the first players, period, in the league's history.
Yeah.
First mid-major, in the top 10 of people selected at all this year. Just really, really, really cool stuff.
There's a lot more novelty in that story than
for
any
sure.
other story.
And dude, she deserves it. I mean,
Yeah.
like, she has just been rock solid the entire year. She has been unbelievable with everything that goes on just around it and stuff. I got to talk to her the day after she got the golden ticket. I mean, just the whole time just gave praise to her teammates and stuff. Just so humble. It was really, really cool to talk to her.
Yeah.
I met Ben Shepard. Like, that was cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool things that happened.
Not gonna be that guy, but I built Sam's courage to go talk to him.
Oh, I know.
That whole time he was staring at me. I'm like, what are you doing? Just go talk to him. He's just like a dude. Like, you know.
I kept texting Reece because I wasn't there. It's like, Reece, make him get it.
And I said, all right, I'm already bullying him to get him to do it, dude. That was cool.
Remembered to the very first episode of this podcast. It was just me and Ty, and crazy to think that next one will have either of us. That's weird. But I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm a Tigers fan. I watch Tarek Skubal take the mound once a week, back-to-back Cy Young winner, and I have more confidence in Maya Johnson winning a game than I do Tarek Skubal. You know, like, she's just that good. And putting really just a cherry on top of an incredible Belmont career, which is still going. Still got stuff upcoming. But
Absolutely. Lot of road ahead for softball. Interested to see how far.
I mean, yeah,
As far as she takes the team.
She's gonna hit 300 this weekend for strikeouts.
She got it. She got it in the
Okay.
second game.
She got it
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
second
she's
game?
at
Okay.
306,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, she had 362 strikeouts last year, some unbelievable number like that.
Yeah.
Now she's just chasing that and chasing the number 1 seed.
I
mean, that's it.
I showed up to softball late because I was just told to come for the thing after. And I see Sam, and I sit down next to him. He goes, yeah, Maya Johnson actually lost them the first game. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, she gave up 2 runs. I was like, okay, so, you know, it's just kind of like a classic, like 2018, 2019
Dude,
Jacob
DeGrom. That's
Yep.
exactly what it felt like the whole game.
Like, oh, man. Or current day Paul Skeens, if you will. But yeah, that's it for the Belmont talk today. It's probably going to be a shorter episode, but big event just happened yesterday as of recording, the NFL draft. I want to start off, let's just go with our reaction to our team's picks. Sam, we'll go with you first. I know you're thankful that Jeremiah Love went right before the Titans did, and they couldn't pick him. How do you feel about the Carnell Tate pick?
Well, I hate it. I
Really?
mean, I just absolutely hate it. My thing is, you can get a receiver at any time. Like, you could argue that if they would have traded back, they could have gotten him, especially with Arvell Reece still available. It's like I told my dad, if you didn't want to make a real pick and get Arvell Reece, somebody else wanted to. Because, I mean, the Giants didn't need him, and they still picked him.
Yeah.
I think he's an incredible ball player. I think he's got an incredible future ahead of him. And that's 2 drafts in a row that we've passed on a Micah Parsons type for an offensive playmaker when our offense is still lackluster, and the Giants have picked the guy both times. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that he's great. I hope that him and Cam Ward can be some sort of dynamic duo. But when I just think about when I think about the Titans, I don't think receivers, like our last great receiver was A.J. Brown, who we traded away to try and pick a receiver in the first round. Didn't work. Last time we picked a receiver this early, it was Corey Davis. That didn't work. So, especially with them trading back into the first round at 31 to get Kendrick Falk, the edge rusher, I think for me, I would have just picked the better edge rusher first and then snuck back into the round and taken a receiver at 31 if you're going to trade back in.
Would you have rather have took Denzel Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get the 31st pick, I want Denzel Boston and
Mhm.
Arvell Reece versus Carnell Tate and Kendrick Falk. Yeah, Keldrick Falk. Like that, I felt like there was more on the table for them. I personally would have traded the pick to somebody if somebody really was sold on Arvell Reece or Sonny Styles or somebody like that. Like looking at what the Cleveland Browns did, trading back and still getting their guy, I think absolutely fleecing the Chiefs in that pick, in that draft trade there. So, I mean, Carnell Tate, I think he's going to be good. I don't think that's what the team needed at the number 4 pick, especially since he was the number 2 at OSU. He was getting favorable coverage because they had Jeremiah Smith, who's just one of the biggest playmakers in the country, somebody that they're actively scheming for and against and will be a top 4 pick next draft. Just hard for me to think that Ryan Day was shaking Carnell Tate's hand instead of Arvell Reece at 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan, so I understand. You're probably going to understand the team better than I do. I didn't hate the pick, but I do agree that it's just not needed there. Even getting Arvell Reece and then you trade up one spot and pick up Omar Cooper at the end of the first, or you pick up a guy that's left over in the second. Like there's still some good receivers.
So
on the
many
board.
good receivers left. That's why I think A.J. Brown was a second-round pick. There's so many great second-round receivers where you look at that outside linebacker defensive edge. As soon as you get out of the first round, I mean, there's a huge talent drop-off because they pick 10 of these guys every first round. It's just frustrating to me, especially since we spent all this money on the receiver from the Giants. His name escapes me. Wan'Dale Robinson to play the slot.
That's right.
We're still paying Calvin Ridley so much money to be mediocre. Last year we picked a 4th-round receiver. He was our leading receiver. Looked pretty good. We had an all-pro returner in Dicus, who is just phenomenal. So I think that there's a solid room there that could have been addressed today, meaning the second day of the draft or day 3, whereas like our defense needs help. And I'm sure we'll get to it. The Ty Simpson pick blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw something where they were talking about helping, if he would have been drafted by Arizona, what they would have done, and helping with the defense. And that's what Denver has done with Bo Nix, where it's not like Denver has all these like offensive weapons, like fun gadget guys. They've built a good defense. And sometimes the best thing a quarterback needs is a good defense. And I think the Titans have a horrendous defense, but we're a franchise built on the nitty gritty guy in the trenches, Jeffrey Simmons types, where I wish that we could have got back to that in this draft.
I'm not gonna lie though, almost every franchise says that that's what they're built on, and it's not true for most of them.
I mean, I would say that we're the exception because I mean, if you look at the Titans, like our greatest players of all time, they're running backs like Earl Campbell, Derrick Henry, Eddie George, CJ 2K. I mean, and not all those are ground and pound guys, but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
A lot of our best players on the end, Javon Kearse. Like when I was coming up a Titans fan, we had Jarrell Casey. Like he was a beast for a couple years for us. And now we've got like this very soft logo. Like it's very soft. Like if I saw that logo, it looks like a soccer team logo.
It looks like
no shot. Like I mean, it's just
it looks like a tennis ball ready to get
like
whacked.
Like it just looks easy. Like used to, it was like sword. Maybe not a great logo, but it at least looked like a
something.
Gridiron football player. Like we're gonna go out, we're gonna fight. Like there was some of that to it. I don't know. I think it's kind of a weak pick with a weak logo.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, though, you did get better at a position of need.
Yeah, and
That
that's
being said-
fine. That's fine.
That being said, I like Jordan Tyson more. But
Yeah,
that's
I think he was probably the 3rd best receiver. Like
Tate or Tyson.
Tate.
Okay.
I think Tate. I definitely like the Tyson pick. And then
Kai Lemon.
Yeah, I thought that they were pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close
I
in
did think
value.
it was close, but yeah.
So, I mean, if Tyson would have been off the board, if we would have traded back and he would have been gone, like I would have been up in the air between him and Lemon. But just sticking pat at 4 and taking Tate, I sort of had a problem with that. And everybody I talked to did as well.
Yeah, I think that sums that up. Next up is the Lions, my team at 17. We chose Blake Miller out of Clemson, tackle. I love the pick. I liked him more than Proctor. I was scared that Proctor was going to be available when we got there. And with a lot of everyone sees someone do a trick play in college. They go, let's get that guy on the Lions. And, maybe I was letting that feed into my head a little bit. But I'm like, oh, we're going to pick Caden Proctor. And he's just so inconsistent. I feel like Blake Miller, really the one knock on him is he's not that strong, but he's just so technically sound in every aspect. He's just like, who is that Falcons tackle, longtime Falcons tackle? Jake Matthews. He reminds me of Jake Matthews, who really held down the Falcons line for a long time. Also, some people were hoping that we were going to get Monroe Freeling because he would have played on the other side, even though the team announced a while ago that Penei Sewell would be moving back to left tackle, which is what he primarily played in college at Oregon. He's played right tackle basically his whole time in the NFL, but they announced in the offseason that they were going to move him back to left. So I don't really know why people were surprised by that. I didn't expect that to be the pick. But yeah, overall, I really like the pick. Our success in recent years has come through the trenches. I know I just said that that's what every team says, but especially the couple years where we were really, really good, it was a lot of that came down to offensive line play. Offensive line was way worse this year, and I think it showed every game. And our defensive line still needs a lot of help, and the secondary and the linebackers. But basically the entire defense could use help, but still, this is filling a position of need with a very good player.
He's primarily right tackle, right?
That's correct.
That's why he played at Clemson.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Like when I saw the pick, like I was like, I think that's a good call. And everything I've read today, everybody said that they liked the pick. So congratulations, another great Lions pick. Day one, looking at it, but we'll see.
We'll see. They'll learn.
They'll learn.
And then dropping all the way down to 28.
Traded up
with the Buffalo in division
traded. Yep.
The Patriots drafted offensive tackle Caleb Lomu out of Utah. Reece, what are your thoughts?
I like the pick. Mainly in the first round, I was like, all right, O-line or D-line. That's all I could have asked for that first round. I mean, Will Campbell, still a work in progress. We need help on our O-line. Morgan Moses, 36, right tackle. He's not going to play for much longer. We need a guy to kind of develop alongside, maybe as a sixth man for that O-line. I think for this next season, I don't think he's going to start a lot. I think he will be subbed in at some points, but I don't see him on the main line. He's not a great run blocker, but he is a really, really good and incredibly clean pass protector as a lineman.
And that's where you struggled most.
Yeah,
felt like
that's what you need.
That's what we're more worried about in terms of how it's gonna. Because he's mainly been left tackle. That's strictly his position. So, and that's where Will Campbell is. So we'll see if he takes over for Morgan Moses, or rumors maybe some people would prefer Will Campbell at a guard position rather than a tackle, which I think in my opinion that suits him better for where his strengths are as a O lineman, and maybe we can slot in Caleb Lemieux at left tackle or get that all around. But I think our biggest priority this draft was the O-line, and we've got a really solid pick that I'm really happy to see develop this next season.
Yeah, I agree. I think isn't Will Campbell like huge? Like, isn't he like
he
6 foot
tiny
6?
arms, though.
He has small arms. Like, I do think his skill set translates to guard well.
Yeah.
I also just think sometimes people are like, have Madden brain. They're like, oh, we'll just move him to guard.
Which is, it's easier said than done.
It's the baseball equivalent of, just teach him first base.
I'm worried about just like, we'll just move him to right tackle. Now, well, hold on there.
Yeah, like that's actually
imagine like a whole different thing.
That's like teaching a guy to bat lefty.
Exactly.
Just
10
out of
years into his
nowhere.
career. Like it's harder than it looks.
I will
but
say though,
I do like the pick.
I will say though, the Titans did that with Peter Skoronski. He was a tackle coming out of Northwestern.
Yeah.
He's our starting left guard, and I think he's our best offensive lineman. So I mean, it can happen, and I think in 2 to 3 years, I think both those guys will be on the left side. I think they'll try and put Campbell at guard because, I mean, he just looked terrible in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's really good to get, like, Morgan Moses is our oldest O-line, but after he's gone, our O-line is, like, probably the youngest in the league. I think average age right now with Morgan Moses as the 35-year-old guy, we're at an average of 26 years old for our O-line. So glad to at least, like, in the season's coming up to have a healthy and young O-line with a also very young-ish team with, New England Patriots. But, yeah. Anyway, I love the pick. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. I'm thinking now we go to most surprising. I'm sure there'll probably be some overlap. I'll let Sam go first because I think I know what yours is. And
Mine's the Ty Simpson pick.
Yep.
Like, go out there and get better. Like, that's just my thing. I was not blown away by Ty Simpson at Alabama. I've not been blown away by the last couple Alabama quarterbacks. Jalen Milroe. Oh, who's Reese's guy?
Mac
Jones. I mean, he had a solid look at it, but like, I don't know. Last time we saw Ty Simpson in a game, he got blown out by Indiana, like 35-3, I think. And then 2 weeks ago, he was talking about how Indiana was running like a basic defense,
Yeah.
and like they knew everything they were doing. And then Indiana's defensive coordinator, who got the award for best assistant coach in football, clapped back at him and was like, "Well, we knew what you were doing, and we actually stopped you." So like. And to me, like, the Rams are a really, really good team, really on the cusp. I mean, if the Seahawks were the best team in football last year, like they looked, I mean,
the Rams were number 2.
The Rams were number 2,
Yeah.
and it was tight. And that's a team that they got to play twice a year. That's a team they got to at least split with. So they got a godsend getting the 13th overall pick. That's a really good spot for a team that's that good. Like, I mean, we're talking about the Patriots having to move up to 28 to try and get a guy. They made a trade last year to get them the 13th overall pick right there. Easy. Like, you gotta make a pick that makes your team better. And I don't know if that was a receiver like everybody said, if that's somebody on the offensive line. Keep shoring up the defense. I don't know what the pick should have been, but I don't think it should be a guy fighting with Stetson Bennett for your number 2 job this year to take over from the MVP Matthew Stafford in the future. Like,
also, if you wanted the Ty Simpson pick, I don't think he's going in the first round.
Nobody's taking him. Like, if you're looking at these teams, they all have quarterbacks except for the Cardinals. Like, the Cardinals was the only team you had to worry about maybe trading back into the draft.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. So, like, I think I make the pick there. I use a little extra draft capital to move into, like, 25th, 24th. If you are sold on this guy and you want that 5th-year option. But, like, it's just... Sean McVay's face told the whole story.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what anybody was saying. Like, he was not on board with that pick. Like, they're doing damage control right now. It's just, it's mind-blowing to me they didn't want to get better.
Do you think they trade him?
Ty Simpson?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't pick him to
Yeah.
trade him because nobody else thinks as highly as you do of him.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my thing. It's just, when Jordan Love got drafted by the Packers to learn under Rodgers and this whole thing, I mean, he was like a 20th pick somewhere in there. Like they got like
late
their
first.
Yeah, like they used their actual draft slot to pick him that they earned. The Rams did not earn this spot. I mean, they got it from the Falcons from last year for the James Pierce trade. Like, this is a stroke of genius on their GM's part to get this pick. To me, I get that there's a future, but I think there are better quarterbacks in the future than Ty Simpson in the next couple drafts. I think Matthew Stafford gives you 1 to 2 more years at the bare minimum. And it would have been nice to try and get him back in the Super Bowl. This move doesn't get you back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I like the fit for Simpson a lot because it's kind of the best spot he could have landed.
Anybody can play in Sean McVay's offense.
Exactly.
I mean, he's just an innovator, a genius.
And I think
good for him.
Stafford excels at a lot of things that Simpson does not, and I think that's a good person for him to learn from. Love it for Ty Simpson. And I got to say, I heard some rumblings pre-draft that this would happen. I don't think I saw the trade up coming, but I did see this team player match quite a bit. I don't even hate the pick. I just don't like moving up for it, because there is a huge quarterback fall off after him. What's the next closest guy? Like Nussmeier
or Carson Beck. Carson Beck's not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I'm good on all those guys. I actually like Nussmeier, but he clearly is playing hurt. I don't know. He can maybe be something. But anyways, moving up doesn't make sense, like you said. Like, nobody's coming to get him. Like, Yeah, like maybe you worry about the Cardinals, but
I
this
don't
is
think I
actually-
don't think the Cardinals are going to move up to 13.
Yeah,
to
and this
get
is a
him.
good transition because for me the most surprising was Jeremiah Love at 3.
Mm.
I fully expected him to drop really out of the top 5 at least. Seeing him go at 3, I was like, oh, okay, the draft started. Like, I was not ready for that at all. It's just such an interesting team building process because they're building their team like they have a young quarterback that they want to build around, and the quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. So that's just bizarre to me. I don't know. Maybe they see a guy second, third round they like. Maybe they take a shot on Nussmeier or Beck or Klubnik. I don't know.
Maybe they just think Jeremiah Love is just a supreme talent. Mel Kiper Jr. for the first time ever is like draft him.
Yeah.
And maybe they're like, you know what? We're just going to wait till Dante Moore actually decides to come next year. We're going to lose as many games as possible. We're going to pick a real quarterback next year. Maybe they just didn't like Ty Simpson. I don't know. I did think they would take Love, though.
Okay.
And also, I had my fingers crossed saying they would take Love because I knew the Titans would pick him at 4. I just knew it.
I just also Love is going to get the most guaranteed money of any NFL running back this year. Period.
That's what's insane to me. Like, that's why you don't do that.
That's why you don't do that. That's like I think the positional value thing has been a little overblown, but at the same time, you don't do that. So that surprised me. They're also just so needy defensively. Like their defense has been really bad year after year. Their offense they have enough pieces where it's like, okay, like that's gonna probably be an okay offense, even with Jacoby Brissett. I really thought they would have gone Arvell Reece or something, especially like with a player that versatile. When you have so many holes, you can move him wherever you want to.
It's a chess piece. You can move across the board.
It's the queen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the queen on the chessboard. And they're like, they got their pawn across to the other side, and they go, you know what? Let's go rook. Why not? Let's switch it up. So that was the most surprising for me. Reece, was there any that really stunned you?
I mean, besides those two, those were the most surprising for me. But I thought the Chiefs trading up for Mansard Delane was like, if I'm the Browns, I'm taking that deal because they went back to 9th and then got 2 more picks out of that.
And got their guy. Like they said that we want Spencer Fanu, or however you say his last name.
Yeah.
Great. You never say that like the Browns made a really good trade, but they did.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
best trade since draft day.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. But I mean, Mansard Delane, a very great cornerback talent, and the Chiefs lost both their cornerbacks to the Los Angeles Rams, so obviously that's a spot or a position they needed to fill. Is it top 10 overall? I don't think so. I think where they stood, they could have still gotten him for. I mean, where did they sit? They sat maybe.
They were at 9.
They were at 9. Yeah, so they weren't. So
I saw something where they said there's a 90% chance he would be there. Like ESPN, like their analytics said 90% chance he's been there. And I guess maybe they thought the Commanders would take him, but I thought that if Sonny Styles was still on the board, that's where he was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where you got Jordan Tyson for Arizona. I still think the Saints still pick him. I don't see where another team takes it before they do.
I will say the one upside I think for the Chiefs is that he's easily the best corner this year.
Easily. No problem.
Point
no
blank.
problem.
I just don't think you need to trade 3. I don't think you need to trade 3 spots.
I think it was
to give 2 more.
Yeah, I think they
picks
gave
away.
up their first and then a third and a fifth, I believe. Was the deal.
For a 4th and a 5th, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. It is. Let's see. Yeah, the number 74 pick and the number 148th pick in the 5th round. So yeah, 3rd and a 5th.
Yeah, I mean you can criticize the process, but honestly, I'm always gonna kind of respect. We're going and we're getting our guy, no questions asked. Not playing any games, not gambling at all. I love this guy. I think for him, it shows a lot of faith in him. Like they're like, this is our guy. We're willing to trade some stuff away. Clearly they got their guy, and at the end of the day, if they're right, nobody's gonna question this ever again. So, and I don't know, like I guess you said they basically just traded their 3rd down for a 4th. Like
not crazy. They're not crazy.
Yeah.
There's worse things to do. Position of need. I wouldn't have let McDuffie walk personally. I think he's still underrated, and I think people respect him a lot, and I still think he's underrated. Speaking of a piece that could win you a Super Bowl for the Rams, I don't know. I was surprised, but I just don't hate the process. I think you can ding it. I just don't hate it.
I think if you're a Browns fan, you're loving yesterday. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Between him and Concepcion at 24.
oh,
Good day.
what a great
good
pick.
day.
That,
good
that,
day.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a great pick. I
Let's,
was thinking Denzel Boston might have gone to the Browns. I think they might have gone with him, but KC, I think that's the same. Yeah, great pick.
Dude's a ball player.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask on that note, who is you guys as like a final point on this? Who is you guys' favorite team draft? Like, which team do you think had the best first round? I think mine's the same, even though there's something I don't like about it. But as a whole, I thought the Cowboys did
Okay,
very
that
well.
was my pick.
Yeah.
Cowboys had a great draft.
Caleb Downs at 11. I mean, I think he's the best player in the draft, and I get that. Like, running back's one thing, positional value, that I'm like, okay, maybe not. Safety, I fully disagree. Safety's one of the most important positions. Caleb Downs is so versatile. He's the best. You got the best player at 11. And then they at 23, they traded down from 20 with the Eagles, let them get Mekhi Lemon. That's the one thing I don't like. But at the end of the day, they did get draft capital, and they got Malachi Lawrence, who's a really good football player, edge out of UCF. I love both the players they got. I love the value they got them at. The one knock is that they let a division rival get Mekhi Lemon. But, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. And I guess I can see, like, yeah, let's get some picks out of this and get our guy anyway.
Caleb Downs, incredible pick. I think that's the best pick of the draft. Listening to Coach Saban talk about it when he was all SEC as a freshman there.
And
congrats.
It bothers me that every mock draft I saw had him falling out of the top 10. It's like people know that this is going to happen, and they just let it happen anyway. Like, am I crazy to say the Commanders should have taken him instead of Sonny Styles?
I feel like they needed a linebacker.
Need a
position,
linebacker,
I think,
to
yeah,
me.
'cause
They do, but
that core's getting a little bit older, and I think
Bobby Wagner is still somehow getting like first team All Pros guys and been
Dude's
good.
a baller. Like, I
no,
love
he's not anymore.
No,
He's
like
been noticeably bad.
Career-wise, like
yes.
the fact that he can at least still
He's still good.
be their best linebacker out there.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it doesn't look great, but like the fact that he's done it this long and it's just now like taking a ding, like that's great. That's a great guy to teach Sonny Styles some stuff.
That's
like
true.
If there's any linebacker in the league I want to learn from, Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner, probably the two guys. But I do agree. I think Caleb Downs.
Or even like if you're the Chiefs, do you trade up to 6 knowing that you maybe get Caleb Downs as a consolation prize if Delane goes? I get it's a different position, but you're still looking to bolster your secondary.
I think they need the corner, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
But I don't know, man. Caleb Downs is like that kind of player to me where that's a BPA that you have to pick, I feel like, personally. That's my philosophy, I guess. But regardless, long story short, really like the Cowboys draft. Browns got better too, a lot better. I like the Jets too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sadiq is kind of that. The one thing, I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's a Donnie Darko meme, and it's like, do you like this guy for wide receiver reasons, or do you like this tight end for wide receiver reasons or tight end reasons? And he's like, wide receiver reasons. And I do feel like that's a little bit Kenyon Sadiq, but I do think he's a better blocker than he gets credit for, especially in the run.
I think if you make 3 first-round picks, it's a good draft.
Yeah.
Like, just no matter what, if
Yeah.
you can get 3 guys in the first round, as long as you just don't
It's kinda,
absolutely blow it, like, it's hard to have a bad
even if
draft
you
with
blow
3.
one really badly,
You still got at least
Yeah.
2 guys that you can use as building blocks, probably.
yeah.
I think the Giants had a good 2-person draft. I liked what they did. They made 2 John
Yes.
Harbaugh
Yeah.
picks. Like, that was good. If I'm looking at it as like what's the best like one pick, like I had just one pick, I made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's probably the Eagles get Mekhi Lemon
Yes.
because they're
Yeah.
getting rid of A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
He fits in very
Well.
nicely with Devontae Smith.
And
It's going to help Jalen Hurts, who needs as much help as he can get.
I think it gives Devontae Smith a really good chance to show that he is a number 1 receiver. Like, honestly, if you say he's top 10, I'm not going to call you crazy.
I'm not going to blink. He was a Heisman Trophy winner, top 10 pick. Like, I mean, he's
so
a
good.
guy.
He's so good. And, like, you can argue, like, okay, well, Mekhi Lemon's not better than A.J. Brown, so they get worse. But I do think letting Devontae Smith take over that number 1 again is I think it's going to look good. And I think Mekhi Lemon fits with Hurts really well as kind of they haven't really had like a real good slot guy like that in maybe Hurts' career. So yeah, I agree. I think it's him there or it's Downs at 11. In terms of
incredible
value.
pick, incredible pick.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs, once again, great pick. Like I can't overstate that
I
enough.
hate to give it to Jerry Jones, but
But I think the worst pick in the draft would probably be the Vikings for me, though.
Yes.
Like I have no idea what they were thinking.
Yeah.
like he's shown every now and again that he can make a huge disruptive play, but he's inconsistent and the guy's had foot injuries. When you're like 330 pounds and 6'6", foot injuries aren't going away. That's just part of.
That's a lifetime thing. Like
Yeah,
you're just
like-
a lot of man.
Yes, that's a lot of man to have on your feet. So
And
yeah.
credit to the Bears for taking who they should have taken. That safety out of Oregon, Dylan Theinman.
Yeah.
Great pick out of the Bears there on I think a huge blunder for the Vikings, who didn't have a GM going into the draft. Just comedy of errors.
Yeah. I think the most intriguing pick to me, and we can finally wrap. I know I said it was like last topic. Akeem Mesidor, 25 years old, and yet I don't hate it as much as if it were a 25-year-old quarterback. I don't know. There's something about it where it's like, okay, well, he's going to be ready probably. I don't know.
You just don't get a lot of runway out of a 25-year-old
You
edge
don't.
at the very beginning. But I do think this team doesn't need a lot of runway. They need somebody to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, and I don't know. That was just I don't know how to feel about it. So that's why I say it's the most intriguing for me. But
Reece, what was your favorite pick? We got off on like 8 picks in a row.
Favorite? I don't know if this is my favorite pick, but I really did like the Panthers Monroe Freeling pick. I think the Panthers are going to be a team that's going to be a contender next year, in my humble opinion. I mean, last year they made it to obviously the wild card round and almost beat the Rams. I think where their O-line sits right now, it's almost the same thing as the Patriots, where he's going to sit there behind there for a year and then slot in, and he's going to fit perfectly in with that scheme. I think that's a more underrated pick. I think people are like, oh, that makes sense, but I don't know. I think that's what the Panthers really needed this draft, especially in the first round. I would probably say, though, my favorite pick, just from looking at it, was the Ravens pick.
I'll help you. Oliva Vega Ione, I believe.
TV can change like your perception on like how big people are. That dude is a fridge. Like,
He's a hoss, man. Like, good
6'4",
luck.
320. We were just talking about Banks, who's 6'6", 327. So only 7 pounds less and 2 inches shorter. Like, yeah, that's a huge man.
And that's who the Ravens need.
Yeah, you need somebody to get in front of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in that run game.
I feel like it's like the joke where it's like, man, let's just make our goalie someone who's just really big. So
Yeah, that's offensive line philosophy. What if we just got 6'5" really big guys that can just be in the way?
Yeah, those are probably my favorite picks.
Yeah.
That you guys didn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in all, it was a really interesting draft for not like a great
class.
Like, there is no like, man, you gotta have him type deal. Like, I get Fernando Mendoza, worst kept secret. He's go number 1. I think there are a lot of drafts where he's maybe not a top 10 pick. Well, at a quarterback, I don't think he's top 5.
I've seen really bad quarterbacks go really high.
That's
for
fair.
me to think that. But I agree. He's not your prototypical 1-1.
He's not like the yes, please.
Yeah.
Like, so interesting draft. I think a lot of teams got better. Some teams got worse. And some teams just like, hey, Rams, what are you doing?
Yeah. Second draft kicks off in about an hour from when we're recording this. So, but we won't be talking about that.
It's okay. I mean, to be fair, like people are like, oh, I'm watching the draft. Where are you watching? I'm watching the 5th. Who really watch it? Like,
I do.
Dude, like the 6th round in the middle of the day. Like, they're not even announcing names half the time. Like, when Nashville hosted the draft, I had a buddy of mine go announce like our 6th round pick.
Really?
Yeah, Jack Everett went out on stage and like I love Jack. Maybe not the person we should have picked to do it, but but he like seriously, he's up there, and it's something that he never talks about. I'm like, dude, if I made a draft pick, like
Yeah.
I would bring it up in like every other
There
conversation.
were multiple Make-A-Wish kids that chose to do the draft pick, and your buddy's like,
yeah, I mean, it happened.
You know,
I like
first
the
round for
Seahawks.
sixth
The
round.
Seahawks Make-A-Wish kid who was like on the
grabbing the
mic,
mic and
dude.
like shaking it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna break that.
But hey, man, I mean, yeah,
if that's your wish,
That's your wish.
Great.
Then
dude had the stage presence. Like
make the most of it.
He had the energy. Dog.
almost
I
couldn't
love it.
hear him because he was blowing the mic out. But
Yeah.
not that Reece wouldn't care about that.
No, not really. But
All right. Well, it is, I guess, for the last time that I say thank you for listening. Reece and Sam will see you next semester. Anything you guys want to send off with?
bye, Nick. Probably last time we'll see each other.
That's not true.
That's not true
I'm
at
gonna see you
all.
on
But we're
Monday.
gonna see each other a lot.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
might
not gonna be
even
the same.
leave Nashville, so
No.
like who knows? But
Yeah.
No.
No, it's been a fun ride. I looked it up. My first episode was September 18th. So like crazy how far we've come since then.
yeah.
yeah, it's not going to be a second best podcast without you, Nick.
Not gonna be the second best Southeastern
Southeastern
college
college.
podcast.
I think without you, we're looking probably at third next year.
Hey,
Yeah.
and I'll be real proud. Real proud. I'll be hooting and hollering from wherever I'm at.